Good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. Tonight's another edition of Hong Kong House of Cards Shifter Edition. God, I wish I could get Julia in here for this, but I think she's at work. The survivors of the last night's shenanigans in Deepwater are calling together the other supernaturals in the city, the other shifters in the city at the Sept, to discuss things that need to be discussed. Alright, so go ahead. Mitchell, you'll intro, then Tim, then Meg, then Jason, then Tiger, then me.
Hikaru is dressed rather traditionally today in a variety of blues and reds and silvers, and has brought with him a small low table and a tea set. He is currently seated on a cushion behind this table, waiting everyone else's intros.
Tim?
Alright, yeah, I'll give it a shot. Is this on Sept or at Hikaru's place?
This is going to be on Sept.
Definitely on Sept.
Okay. And Felicia, giving Hannah more or less the day off, so that way we can talk about whatever the fuck Hikaru wants to bring up. They are chilling, well, okay, at the very least, Felicia is chilling on a park bench, probably washing off some of her dedicated clothes after the amazing shenanigans from last night, because there's probably goop all over them.
Yeah, there's probably a little bit of clone residue.
Yep.
Alright, go ahead, Meg, post for Hannah.
So Hannah's just in the Sept, because that's where she always is. And she will sort of come scampering over and smile and be like, oh, this is serious. Oh. Okay. And just sort of hover between Hikaru and Felicia, like not quite sure what to do.
Oh, yeah, I just remembered something. You're still staying with Arthur, aren't you?
What do you mean?
Tiger.
Yeah, Bosco is.
Arthur would have brought home Shuling's body and asked you to take it to where she needs to be buried in peace.
He'll just kind of nod and I guess take it to the Ryokai Sept.
Alright. You would have noticed a large change in Arthur when he got back, and he would have shut himself into the greenhouse. Alright, go ahead and post for Bosco.
Alright, I will assume he's gone ahead and dropped off the body.
Yeah.
Sept, so he will wander over to the other Sept shortly afterwards, looking a little down. For those who have not met Bosco, he pretty much looks like my overlay right there. Just a big, hairy, man.
Point of order.
So what?
Point of order. Hikaru would have attempted to call the other members of the other Sept over as well for this little info meeting, and whoever doesn't show up, he will go to them and deliver it later. So
That's fine. You'll talk to Julia about that since she's still running those NPCs.
I just meant for the purpose of him running back and forth between the cairns.
Right. Right now, you and Bosco are the only people that are in between the two cairns. Because even Mox, though he is technically Hangyokai, he recognizes himself as a member of the nation still. So, and Mox will show up with his staff. He's not using like a walking staff. He actually has it across his shoulders and has his arms hanging on it, whistling a tune, and then we'll look at everybody and say, who died?
Bosco's just gonna kind of shoot him a glare.
He's gonna look a little nervous at that. and then go, okay, this is serious. He'll swing the staff off his shoulders and sit down on the ground in a lotus fashion.
Once everybody's gathered around and is seated, Hikaru will pour the tea and stand and walk each individual cup to each individual person before taking his seat again. And he will kneel back down on the cushion and say, "Thank you for agreeing to meet me here. There are things we must discuss."
Mox will nod his head.
Kind of things.
Pardon?
What kind of things?
Firstly, it has probably been no secret that I have spent some time among the wizard folk. I have heard a great many things from them that trouble me. One of them is the fact that there is locally a hive somewhere that has been allowed to flourish. Is this news to anyone?
I've heard that there were black spiral activity beforehand, but not that they were still here.
The word that I received, whether it is true or not, I have not had time to ascertain as I've been rather busy. The word that I have received is that there is an active hive in the city, and that there were some certain Geru that helped set it up.
Would these be the Geru that died?
I would assume so. If not, then they shall quickly be among their ranks.
Before I came here, I heard a rumor that there was a war pack moving through the area. I don't know if that has anything to do with what happened to those Geru or not, but it's safe bet that if there was a war pack heading here, that sort of thing might be what would spook them.
Bosco just emphasizes deeply.
Mox is going to look over to Bosco with like a raised eyebrow.
I was there when it was set up. We didn't have much other option.
Would you care to explain this in a fashion that paints you in a better light?
The alternative was that some crazy old vampire would summon an ultra-powerful demon, absorb its powers, and pretty much destroy the world.
And letting the BSDs make a hive was going to stop that?
And
That is one less node that the Infernalists could get to. That is
Was
what
it-
they were.
Let's
Sorry.
let Bosco talk, please.
no, sorry, I thought he was done.
No. It was one less that they could have gotten to.
So they got the hive, and then what happened to the Infernalists?
That was a mutual thing between the Kindred and the Mages, I believe. From what I heard, the Mages went after the head vampire herself, while the Kindred set up a ritual to prevent them from getting their demonic masters here.
Because it's Mox, he's actually going to roll a Enigma's roll.
So this vampire threatened the world's safety if you did not establish this hive?
What was that? I couldn't hear you.
Oh, sorry, I'm away from the computer. Yeah, she'll say, so this elder vampire threatened the world's safety if we did not establish this hive?
Correct.
Was
But-
killing the vampire not an option?
We had been trying for months.
Mox is gonna say, so wait, you created a hive. Not you, but the BSDs created a hive. You helped them. And then the vampires put up a weird ward. And the mages killed the head vampire. So that would mean that there are other tainted zones out there, right? Like what happened, what you guys did with the hive?
Possibly.
When we have sensed those?
You tell me.
I don't have that kind of ability. So we need to find these other tainted zones and cleanse them.
I am curious. Bosco, would you do me the honor of explaining Gaia's plan for your people?
We are cleansers, healers. We're there to watch over the land.
Would you say that, given that mission from Gaia herself, and your very fortuitous placement at the beginning of this hive, that perhaps you would be most qualified to aid us in understanding how to dismantle it?
Of course.
I thank you.
I know a ritual from my people that could prove very helpful for this.
Alright. I assume we know where this hive is?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, you said that the mages knew about this?
Correct.
When I say the mages, most of my time spent among the wizard folk have been with Dimitri and Oscar.
So the Weaver things.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They're problematic, but they have absolutely no problem at all running their mouths in front of me. It has been very informative.
Well, then we need to gather them all up and take this hive and re-cleanse it.
I would agree.
Same.
Where is this hive?
He'll give the... Did we ever decide where it actually was?
Yeah, it was the island where the Protocept was.
That's right.
Basically, the BSDs chased off Undyne and Lung.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Bosco will point out the island. I'm getting, like, if someone can pull up a map, I'm sure.
Well, we need to get everybody together and go beat them in. You know, like, and he'll reach out to his staff and snap it into a thwacking motion. You know, boot some head.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should look... I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, do we have any idea who any of the personnel of this hive are? Any notable BSDs in charge, as it were? Or anyone that resides there? She's directing the question at Bosco since he was like there.
Sorry, I got distracted. What?
Oh, my bad. Felicia asked if there was any notable personnel or just anyone that Bosco knew from the hive that would still be there.
Presumably burns the world.
That is not a good deed name.
Burns the world.
Especially for a black spiral dancer.
What do you know about him? Or is that it?
His mortal name is Drexenos.
Wait, wasn't there a Drake Xenos at that meeting?
Bosco will nod. That's him.
So they walked into the tarot cord?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck no. Look, guys, I'm not gonna lie. Vampires, I can deal with. Crazy-ass wizard people, I can deal with. I am not putting up with fucking black spiral dancers in that council.
You'll hear a growl come from Mox.
If I may, I believe that while retaking this area from them is definitely the priority, that we should also examine beyond.
You
to
broke up
determine.
there, Mitchell. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I believe that we should also look beyond that mere act, at the implications in the future. We should look toward how best to hide our actions if they are members of the council, and how best to personally reclaim that area rather than letting some other Shen have it.
Are they considered members of the council? Mox is asking Bosco.
As far as I'm aware.
And we're not allowed to act against members of the council.
Correct.
Fuck that.
We are not allowed to openly act against members of the council. One might say that the 11th commandment is ever in effect.
The problem with that is typically the best way to deal with BSDs is to take their hive out from underneath them. So question becomes, how do we do that?
This will take much thought.
What we can do, and I'm not particularly given to this, they're fucking Black Spiral dancers. They are more than likely acting against every member of that council in some way, shape, or form.
Oh, I have no doubt. I bet they're also capturing and forcing people to dance.
Exactly. I mean, hell, even, like, just if we list off their crimes against us, that would be quite a bit. That would go quite a way towards undermining them.
It has also been seemingly tradition within the council whenever two members of one house, or two groups of one house, are fighting to consider it in-house business.
We need to talk to our speaker then.
Really?
Mm-hmm. In addition, the Speaker of the House of Pentacles, Mr. Wainwright, has been informed of this hive, and has already expressed his willingness to assist in cleansing it.
Wainwright, that's the dude that feels like Luna, right?
Yes.
Yes.
What the fuck is up with that anyway? That just came from the monk, so. Yeah.
I am not yet certain.
He seems nice.
Many things seem nice.
Alright, so we got that. We need to talk to Walks and Arrows and see if we can make it a inter-house dispute. Wasn't that the whole thing they were doing about the Shar Flicker Flame thing? How no other house was allowed to act against him because it was being handled inside the House of Cups?
Last I recall.
Then they shouldn't be able to stop us from booting some BSD at. And if they want to make something of it, I will throw that in their face. Along with a pie, because I am a Ragabash.
I can't imagine many that would want to make enemies of the House of Swords.
Especially when so many of them already are, and they just don't seem to realize it.
Agreed. There's a very tenuous piece keeping claws from throats at this very moment. I feel that if they appreciated that more fully, that perhaps we would find our way cleared.
All I'm saying is, a little rodent never hurt anybody.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we should probably talk to Walks and Arrows.
Definitely. In the meantime, I will do what I can to gain intelligence on this hive and its members. See if there is something else that we can use against them.
Sounds good. Anything else you wanted to talk about? I know you guys kind of disappeared last night. Wouldn't tell me where you were going.
There was a sortie that needed our assistance. one in which we found kitsune,
A kitsune?
things that seemed like them, bent and twisted through weaver arts.
You guys went on a Weaver boot party and you didn't invite me?
It was a strange one. We were protecting the left hand from the right.
He'll just kind of look at that and say, he'll kind of think about that for a moment. Like, I've seen it from the right. You mean there are weavers that don't deal with the weaver?
The Dimitri and Aska, the weaver wizards, have enemies, and those enemies have factions within themselves that are at war with one another. I believe that the weaver wizards intended to gain the upper hand and call some to their side by assisting in this matter. That would, as I understand it, surely have proved fatal to the lot of us had we not intervened.
I understand that. How'd it go?
It was disturbing on a great many levels. The thing that I think bears the most mention, and he reaches back to his duffel bag and unzips it, and he pulls out bags of blood that are marked, what were they, Glasswalker,
Glasswalker,
Fianna,
Makole.
Makole.
There was also BSD.
Oh, there was a
Kitsune
BSD.
blood too.
I didn't know that. I missed the Kitsune blood. I knew there was BSD, but I missed
Oh,
it.
that's right. They had an actual Kitsune to
Yeah.
Yeah.
draw
Oh,
from.
that
So
probably would have cleansed the fuck out of the BST blood.
yeah,
Or,
I would hope so, or else.
Yeah.
yeah, I just wanted to note that in scene. But Felicia will throw a wink at Mox and say, I told you I'd bring you something back.
You brought me back blood.
In addition
I could
to
use this.
In addition to these, there was also a snake shifter in a tube, and a few kitsune clones. I'm to understand. This group, what did they call them? And he'll, like,
Technocracy, I think.
yes, those. They apparently have gained a lot of information about the genetic structure of Gaia's children.
That'll get a growl from the monk.
We managed to make sure that all of the files in the facility we were in were destroyed. But I believe it was too late for the data had already been transmitted to their home base of operations. I have an idea on how we might actually discuss with some of the Weaver spirits how to retain it in a fashion that will remove it from their networks entirely. But it will take a great many moons, and I'm not certain that I am up to the task alone.
I don't really deal too much with spirits, but I can help out. I tend to deal more with the wild spirits than the Weaver spirits. And Squishing Banes. But Squishing Banes is just good, clean fun.
No, hey, you know me. If I can learn how to talk to spirits myself, you know I'm down to help.
I will aid you in whatever way necessary for you to learn this skill. It would be very valuable to me as well.
How can I help?
Grow up. And that'll just get his muscle to smaller.
Damn!
What do you do?
No, like, on some real shit, Felicia will look at Hannah and, well, firstly she'll say, don't mind him. He's just doing what his moon dictates him to do.
Mm-hmm.
As for what you can do, she'll kind of look at Hikaru, back at her. I suppose there's always room for someone else that can help talk to spirits.
I can ensure this instruction as well. Either the introduction to the spirit that taught me, or perhaps teaching myself.
It would be preferable for it to be learned from spirits.
I agree. The trouble that I found when learning it myself was how to barter with a spirit without being able to understand it.
Well, we have at least two of us here who can speak to them, correct?
Exactly. And that way we can bypass that trouble for these two. There
Well-
are two. Please proceed.
No, go ahead.
There were also the matter of the Kitsune clones, which disturbed me greatly. We destroyed them as well as other strange things.
That sounds like a story. Are you sure you're not Aspis to the Galliards?
I merely do what I am designed to do, and at the moment, that suits my little leaf heart just gladly. It's a story for another time, I'm afraid. There are two other matters I would like to bring to your attention that are dire to our cause. One of them is the existence of a Pentex subsidiary in this area.
Please. Go on.
Are you familiar with the Fujian Corporation?
Yeah, they make shitty stuff.
They were recently acquired. The Weaver Wizards, Dimitri and Asuka, have formulated a plan to try to get someone on the inside and purchase it back. In so doing, we would take it out of that. I say we because they've enlisted my help in some small matters. Take it out of the hands of Pentex and bring it at least into the hands of someone that we can monitor more closely and who does not wish to wipe our entire race off the face of the earth. However, in this
That'd be good.
process, we might learn a great deal about them and how their structure functions.
Can't say I'm opposed to that line of thinking.
It does sound like a great idea. And then she just kind of looked down at herself. I should not do any infiltrating, though.
So no,
Yeah, you spike a little high, don't you?
slightly noticeable.
Just a little bit.
This, by the way, coming from the Rage 3 Ragabash. So.
Fine, Rage 5 is worth.
I will keep you posted on any updates that occur. I do not wish to do this by myself, but I am probably the best suited of the lot of us at the moment.
Well, I can help any way I can, and if you run into anything, well, that tries to shoot you.
I will let you know immediately.
Mm.
The last topic is a little close to home. You're all aware of the disappearances recently, yes?
Yeah. I heard that Swim Swim Hungry went back to the water and hasn't been seen since.
There is... Have you heard of the murder, the ritualistic killing of an individual and quite a few animals recently?
Yeah, I've heard that.
That
Yes.
was one of ours. We lost one of ours that day. I know this because while I was in the museum, a package was delivered to me. It was addressed to our little bird friend. Someone mailed me an eyeball.
What?
And in an effort to understand where it came from, I experienced the death of a shifter at the hands of some who were attempting to draw others out.
Do we know who they're trying to draw out?
I'm not entirely certain yet. I don't know exactly what their plans are either. I didn't get a good look at them. I didn't get a really clear sound of their voice. But it is definitely one of ours. One of the ones that has gone missing. I didn't catch the name. I just simply saw through the eyes of the individual and experienced their pain as they passed.
I'm gonna have to learn some new tricks, aren't I?
Probably.
In that case, I probably need to speak to a spirit to learn how to speak to a spirit.
We will add you to the roster.
I appreciate it. I'm also going to be talking to Walks and Arrows about learning how to summon spirits to our presence.
That would be wonderful.
I have Ragabash, one of the few that actually are supposed to be able to do that.
I would like if we could step up our training a little, but not enough that it tires us overmuch. We must remain vigilant. I would like to see us perhaps not be insular, but at least more guarded against outsiders, even those who may look like ourselves. I'm not entirely certain of the nature of these killers, but they did not seem like the kind of people we should trifle with half-cocked.
Mock's gonna look over at Bosco. You've been in the city the longest. Have there been anybody killing shifters before, not associated with the flavor of the weak monsters that have been coming out of the woodwork?
Not that I can recall.
You do remember Friends with Many's rite of passage, right?
Oh shit! Yeah. Yeah. Bosco would kind of like, or a bit longer. Oh. There was an attempted skin dancer.
At that point,
I'm
there's
sorry.
going to be a growl from Mox. I'm sorry, did you say skin dancer?
An attempted one. She was taken care of. She had. Her and her sister were kinfolk. She had seduced her sister's husband, who was Peru, murdered him with his own blade, took his skin.
Please tell me we recovered the Grand Clave.
It is with Walks of the Narrows now. I ensure everything to myself.
And the sister.
Sister has been relocated to a more safe place.
We need to make sure that sister's still alive.
The main point I wish to drive home about this is not the death of one of our own, however tragic that truly is, but rather the fact that though I have made my abilities and appearance known only to a few in the city, someone knew me and knew my kind well enough to mail me a human, or seemingly human, eyeball.
So we either have a friend out there, or we have another enemy.
One who knows our most intimate secrets.
Well, there are people in this city that still don't know that I'm an actual Garu, so we'll figure it out as we go, I guess.
Bosco will look kind of embarrassed and say, I think everyone in the city knows what I am.
Mox will stand up, walk over to Bosco, and pat him on the shoulder and say, "Dude, people from Orbit know what you are, but that's cool."
I don't think it's particularly hard for people to guess what I am either.
That's all right. There need to be public faces. People need to know that we have a very angry wolf and a very angry bear. That is fine. But eye drinking of the Tengu's eye drinking tends not to get outside of shifter circles. We tend to keep that secret among Gaia's children.
With good reason. Well, sounds like there's a lot going on. So does this mean that the Technocrats now have a base full of brand new toys?
Probably.
It sounds like.
Can we blow it up?
I'm okay with that.
I am more than alright with that.
Where is it?
Are you familiar with the Marianas Trench?
Mox will look at that and say, "Oh hell no, 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 no. That thing stays where it is. No, 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 no."
So that has been dealt with finally.
Oh, we are not ending the world just because we're pissed off at some people.
Felicia just remembers that the Red Talons are a thing.
But Mox has kind of overlooked that little thing. We start an explosion over the head of an elder thingy, then it's gonna wake up and we're all gonna die.
Quiet. Hikaru will slowly glance around the assembled group and say, "Any questions?" And he'll time it such that at the end of that statement, he is directly staring at Hannah because she probably has a blank look on her face.
She's just so confused. So many words she doesn't know. Why is dancing bad? What are Black Spiral dancers? Why do we hate them? Are they jerks? What do you mean eye drinking?
Okay, let's take this a step at a time. Black Spiral dancers are the Garu that have fallen to the worm. Or
How do you do that? That's not okay.
it's really not okay.
Some people choose to do it. Some people get forced to do it.
Oh, that's even sadder. Oh, okay. And so what's this dancing thing that's bad? Is that like a ritual of some sort that they do? I don't understand.
They call it dancing the spiral.
Okay.
I don't know anything about it because I've never done it and I never will.
Okay.
In
It's
fact,
a bad thing.
Brett,
It's supposed to be a method by which you become slowly and slowly corrupted to the point where you don't understand that you are actually being corrupted until it's too late and you are a black and green furred monstrosity of what you used to be.
Brett,
Ew.
I got 2 successes on my BSB lore roll. Is that enough to know the symbolism?
Yes.
Cool.
oh, you gotta hook me up with that BSD lore.
Right?
You don't want to know where he learned it from.
Don't worry, I want to get someone during that high raid coming for that ass.
Go ahead,
Sure.
Tiger.
Fuck, I don't even remember. Oh no, it was like a thing. The Black Spiral Dancers started as us until they were drawn to attack the worm directly. This turned out to be a very bad idea.
Would this then be a cautionary tale as well?
Yes.
Pride goeth before the fall.
Quite.
Also, don't whip the pick on the table, otherwise you may get splinters.
Yeah.
I was going to say, be careful fighting the beast, yet the beast, lest the beast even come. But I find that yours is much more appropriate.
Colorful?
What
But
was
yes,
it? The longer you stare into the abyss, the more the abyss stares into you. I went to high school. Who said I didn't?
You.
I went to high school.
Okay.
Nietzsche.
I also went to high school.
I
assume some shifters are probably looking at her hella surprised.
Mox is just like represent.
Yeah.
I once watched an anime about a high school. There were zombies in it. It was bad.
I missed that one.
I grew up on a Russian farm. I did not have high school.
Thanks.
Mox is going to hold back a comment about it being a potato farm.
Hikaru will look back at Hannah and go, and your other questions?
Okay, so we're not blowing up the evil Weaver thing.
That would
That
be
would end
bad.
the world. We
It's
need
a
to be
very large...
circumspect about who we talk to and what we can do.
Yeah.
And there was something about a hive.
That's what the Black Spiral Dancers call their version of where we live. But
Oh.
it's a twisted, rotting, putrid thing.
Oh. They could have picked a better name.
They could also go die.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
that
could
too.
they could all just die in silver fire.
Okay.
I wish I could just open up a moon bridge to Erebus and just start punting them through it.
That would be glorious.
What's Erebus?
Erebus is a punishment realm in the Umbra that is a lake of burning silver, and that is guarded by a three-headed dog by the name of Kerberos. And when Black Spiral Dancer, you can go there to purify yourself, but it's primarily used for punishment.
Uh-huh.
But you punt Black Spiral Dancers there, and they burn for a long time until Kerberos eats them.
Oh.
So Werewolf Hell.
Yeah.
Werewolf Purgatory.
Actually, not so much, yeah, more like Werewolf Purgatory than Werewolf Hell. I think Malpheus would be the best Werewolf Hell.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
As for the question of eye drinking, I will tell you this exactly once. Please do not ever repeat it to another soul. One of the gifts... Pardon?
Oh, I was just gonna say, Felicia looks around and makes sure everyone's fucking got that before he talks.
Yeah, Mox has that, actual serious monk look on his face.
One of the gifts that Gaia gave my kind, that she did not give to others, was the ability to be close to death. Our animal forms are those of carrion birds. And so, because of this, a Korax is capable of, or as we call them, Tengu, is capable of drinking the eye of a corpse to witness the last moments of their death.
Mm.
It is a heavy burden, but it is one that, as information gatherers and lore keepers, we take very seriously.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
There are all things that we do because we must, not because we enjoy it.
Okay.
Though I will say I do enjoy stomping on Banes and punching BSDs in the face.
Because of what I just told you, I would also ask that at any time that we are all in a group together destroying things, if we need the interrogation of a corpse, please don't destroy either of the eyes. Please leave me my choice. The right
Gotcha.
eyes show very, very different views.
Gotcha, so rip out the heart.
Yes.
Alright. I go for someone else anyway.
Hikaru will sip the last of his tea. And
Mox will finish his tea as well and set it down with a bow.
Oh, Hannah's tea was gone long before this.
Yeah.
She freaking
Okay,
loves
yeah.
tea.
He was looking for Hannah's reaction after Felicia straight out said, I normally go for center mass when I kill a dude.
Just gonna sip her tea, and she's starting to get the hang of it, you guys. She's starting to get the hang of it. She's
Yeah,
a bit of a
Felicia.
delicate flower, but you know,
Yeah, Felicia just sometimes gets a little violent like this. It's okay.
yeah, she's learning.
Gotta kind of let her shout a little bit. It's all good.
Yeah.
Mox
So-
is going to stand up and look around. Well, I think we need to get started on a little bit of combat training. At least I do.
I can help out with that.
Mox
Likewise.
just kind of looks at you guys and is like, well, okay.
Pardon me, I don't wish to overstep my bounds, Private First Class, but would you do me the honor of assisting me in a demonstration?
Okay, I don't mind.
Hikaru will slowly rise, set down his teacup, and walk to a distance such that he will not knock the table over accidentally. Please strike me. And he'll have both of his hands behind his back as he asks this.
You sure?
Yes,
Okay.
positive.
Okay. And she'll go ahead and throw a punch. And do I need to roll for the thing you need to do?
If you want, yeah, it helps, but you don't have to.
Okay. There's 3.
Okay. Instead of trying to dodge, I'm going to deflecting block this.
Oh, you
Oh,
have
no, I'm-
Oh God! She just punched him in the face.
Oh, God. Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah.
I got wrecked.
Okay. You roll damage.
Go ahead, do it.
Subdual, please. Subdual, please.
Oh God.
No, hit me in the face hard.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no. So that's 3 bashing. As her hands go to her mouth, and she's like, "Oh my God! I'm so sorry."
He will he'll dapple at his nose a little bit and go, okay, was not
Mox is
prepared for
gonna
that.
run over and go, somebody call the theurge.
Oh my God.
Damn it, we don't have a theurge.
He'll turn and look at Hannah and say, this is not how we fight. And then he'll turn back and go, please, once more.
Wait, are you sure?
Yes, I'm positive.
Would you like me to heal you first?
No,
Please,
it's fine.
Please do it. Felicia's more freaked out than Hikaru at this point.
I'm sorry, I'm just remembering the scene from the gamers where they're like, we need to punch out the wizard to get him across. The barbarian kills him.
So she'll throw, fuck it, she'll throw a hand again, significantly slower than the first one.
Oh, that's great. Hikaru will pretend not to be embarrassed by this.
Uh-huh.
Pretend. And he will attempt to deflecting block this as well.
So he
And
can
he will.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
So he can save some face. Felicia will actually try to make it look like a genuine punch.
Ah, that's legit. I like it. And at the same time, Hikaru will forego the damage on this and simply show the maneuver.
Yep. I'll roll Dex performance and spend a willpower point
Seems legit.
with 3 successes.
Yep.
If we're going that route, then I'll go Dex Subterfuge. Please God.
Not too bad.
It definitely could have been worse.
It could have been a lot worse.
You guys are able to match your performances, and
Awesome. At which point, Hikaru will put his other hand up under his nose again and wipe away just a little bit of blood and say, see, I'm not completely helpless. I can help too. And then he'll let Felicia go and pretend that none of that ever happened.
Yep.
Oh, he's getting like tended to. Once everyone's gone.
Mox is going to go back, pick up his staff, and is just like, well, I need to work on my melee skills, so, hey, you guys want to see something cool?
Yes, of course.
He shifts his hand, flicks something, and it turns into a 3-section staff. And he goes through a 3-section kata.
That's
That
cool.
is outstanding.
Yeah, gotta have a few tricks up my sleeve. At which point he'll flip it back and flip something on the staff, and it'll go back to a straight staff again, and he'll walk off to the trees. Because 3-section staff is actually a Shaolin weapon, and Shambhala is a improved order of the Shaolins. So.
Thank you all for meeting me. I appreciate it. If you need any assistance that won't get me punched in the face again for my hubris, please let me know.
I'm really sorry again. Maybe want to get some ice on that. Make sure that's straight. Oh my God! Did I break your nose?
Felicia, it's fine. I'll get him a bag of peas.
Yeah. Do that. Seriously, make sure it's straight. She may start trying to fix his nose.
Haru chuckles slightly and dabs at his nose with a handkerchief he pulls from his sleeve. If you think this is the worst pain I've ever felt, I have really impressed you.
No, well, I mean, I don't like punching my friends, okay?
I told you to.
I thought you were...
Master used to hit me that hard between training drills. It's fine.
Right.
Alright, does anyone want to do anything else before we close up?
I think we're good.
Alright. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another edition of Hong Kong House of Cards, Shifter Edition, where hopefully people won't get punched out by accident again. Have a good night.